Good evening, everybody, and welcome to another meeting with the Neighborhood Board. Kāhala, Waiʻalae. It's great to have you all in here. It is another beautiful day in Hawaii. It is a hot one out there, so let's not keep everybody here for far too long, more than we need to. As always, my name is Christian De Quevedo. I'm the chair of the Kāhala Neighborhood Board, as always. First things first, could we please have the gentleman from the Honolulu Fire Department who have attended this evening in person? It's good to have you all here.
Having us.
Our pleasure.
Okay, so at last month's meeting, a question was asked about hazardous material incident that Waikiki's engine company went to that took place in the Waikiki response area. They had it investigated. So the answer to that question was the incident was on 7/12 at 11:30 in the morning, and the Waikiki engine was dispatched to a gas leak at Kāhala Avenue residence. 3 unit staff of 11 personnel responded. On arriving, Engine 7 directed Hazmat 1 to a leaking pipe on the corner of the house. Hazmat 1 applied electrical tape to slow. The White Gas Company took over the scene. As a response to that, the stats for last month was we had 2 structure fires, 6 activated alarms, 31 medical calls, 1 motor vehicle accident involving a pedestrian, and 3 ocean rescues. Our fire safety tip for the month is about moving over for emergency vehicles. Drive with caution and obey all traffic laws, including the move over law, to help protect our first responders while performing their duties near or on a roadway. This is more than a public courtesy, it's the law. Hawaii Revised Statute 291C-27 requires a driver of a vehicle that is approaching an emergency vehicle that is stopped for an emergency, investigating possible traffic violation, rendering assistance to a police officer, or other duties as indicated by the flashing emergency lights of the stopped emergency vehicle, shall, number 1, slow down to a reasonable and prudent speed that is safe under the circumstances of an emergency road situation ahead. If necessary, the driver shall come to a complete stop before making a lane change under paragraph 2. Paragraph 2 states, make a lane change into the adjacent lane if necessary, and if it's safe to do so, or if possible, to 2 lanes over, which leaves 1 lane between the driver and the emergency vehicle. And then a final note about this is emergency vehicle means police, fire, EMS, ocean safety, freeway service patrol, tow trucks, or even some state and county vehicles while personnel are working. Statement.
Seems like a unusually high amount of ocean rescues this month. Something causing issues or?
The ocean. It's just random, so we haven't noticed an excessive amount for our response, but some months get more than others, yeah.
Full moon.
Where's, how far of a section of the ocean is that?
The fire department will handle up to 3 miles out. Anything past that is Coast Guard.
Okay, but I mean from like Waikiki to Anaheim, or no, just Kāhala Beach?
No, we respond basically from Waikiki in our response area, so it would be pretty much Diamond Head,
Okay.
and then going out to like the Kāhala Hotel. That's our initial response.
Right. Does anybody have any questions for the gentleman from the Honolulu Fire Department? Marvelous. Thank you so much for showing up this
Thanks for
evening. I
having me.
appreciate you boys having here. All right. Up next, we have a representative from the Honolulu Police Department. Is our representative here this evening? Oh, there we are.
Hi, good evening. Lieutenant Nishimura from HPD District 7, East Honolulu. The following are the statistics for the month of August. Motor vehicle theft, 3. Burglary, 4. Theft, 16. UEMV, 16. With total calls for service, 6,553. Our safety tip for the month, as we're heading into our rainy season, it's flash flood preparedness. And there are 3 alerts to be aware of. There's flash flood watch, flash flood warning, and a flood advisory. Of those, the flash flood warning is the alert that will be given when flooding is occurring or will develop quickly. So that's the one you really want to be aware of. What you need to know with regards to flash flood preparedness is know if you are in a flood zone and know where to evacuate and how to evacuate in case flooding occurs. And most importantly is do not attempt to cross any flooding either in a vehicle or especially on foot because you'll be in danger of being swept away. And that's our report for the month. Thank you.
Does anybody have any questions for the gentleman from the Honolulu Police Department? Lee, if you can speak into the microphone, please. Thank you.
Hi, officer. A couple of months ago, I asked if you could possibly get some statistics on accidents on Halikoa Drive. Have you had any success in getting those?
No, I apologize. I didn't realize that there was a request that had come in. I can try and do a little bit of research and see what I can get back to you.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
But on Halikoa Drive, correct?
On Halikoa Drive, yes.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
Are there any additional questions? Perfect. Thank you so much for coming this evening. We appreciate you.
Thank you. Have a great evening.
You as well. Next up, our representative from the Board of Water Supply.
I'm here. Good evening, everybody. My name is Lorna Heller from the Board of Water Supply. I have two main breaks to report for the last month. One was on the August 1st. That was on Black Point Road. The other one was on August 21st, and that was on Halikoa Drive. The announcement I have for this month is we want to make sure that you folks get ready for the annual Imagine a Day Without Water event on Saturday, September 28th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. It's going to be occurring at Kāhala Regional Park. So come join the Board of Water Supply and various city, state, and community agencies and organizations for a full day of activities that will focus on the value of water. We'll have interactive exhibits, including rain barrel workshops, xeriscape plant craft activities, succulent mini workshops, and more. And we'll also have Ono food that's going to be available for purchase. And the best part is admission is free for all ages, Keiki to Kapuna. And to find out more information, you can visit our website at www.boardwatersupply.com. That's all I have for this evening. Does anybody have any questions?
Does anybody have any questions for the Board of Water Supply? Okay.
Hello. We had, there'd been a question last time about the Diamond Head Water System Improvements Project, Part 3, which is impacting part of this area. And there was a letter written on behalf of the director. And there was going to be some follow-up about that.
Did you get a response from the manager?
There was a letter, and the letter said that there would be some additional information tonight.
Oh, well, I know that you had, there was a letter that came into the Board of Water Supply, so I didn't bring that up. And I thought they had addressed all the your questions and concerns. So I apologize. Yeah, I don't have any other follow-up on that, but I will check right away after this call, and I'll ask them to provide some feedback on follow-ups on that letter that was received at the Board of Water Supply. Sorry,
It's
I thought
okay.
everything was addressed.
Yeah, they talked about, actually, it wasn't. And since you're not familiar with it, maybe I shouldn't go into it. But there was, is Daniel Nair, is he responsible for it? Because I could call him directly.
That name does not sound familiar. What is the name again?
Daniel Nair, N-E-Y-E-R, of the Construction Management Branch,
Oh,
Capital Projects Division.
oh, okay. So he's a probably a construction inspector. Yeah, so he's the construction inspector probably, and he works in Capital Projects Division. So I can. Was that the person that you're supposed to reach out to, or is he supposed to provide some
No, but
information for you?
that, I mean, this project has been going on for about a year, so there's a few
Right.
people, but he's one of them, yes.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
But it sounds like you don't have any information about it.
I don't have, but I'm sorry. So you had written the letter to the Board of Water Supply. Is that correct?
That was correct.
Okay. And then I just want to make sure you did get a response from them.
There was definitely a response, and it was copied
Okay.
to this board as well. I think
Okay.
they've
Okay.
all seen it.
Okay.
But it said there was going to be some, for example, in particular, there were some questions about the timing. And then there were a few parts of the letter that really weren't addressed. So it would require someone actually knowledgeable about it. So
Okay.
you may
Okay.
need some,
Right.
I think you'll need some assistance.
Yeah, no, definitely. I apologize. Yeah, I'll check back with them and I'll see if we can get more answers for you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Barry, Brian and I didn't get CC'd on any emails or anything like that. If you could double check, please, to see if we were in there.
I'll show you what.
Please do, yeah.
It came from the department and it purported, it was copied to, what's his name? It was copied to Hanson.
Oh,
This is, it was copied to Hanson and it was copied to you and it was copied to Rich.
interesting. I definitely,
But I have a copy of it.
yes, I would love to see the copy after
I'll-
this, please. Thank you kindly. Thank you so much. All right, and then Lorna, before I let you go,
Yes.
there were, I think, two main water main breaks along Waiʻalae right before the H1 on-ramp headed into Kāhala. And we had brought it up with Casey Abe, I believe, 2 meetings ago, so about 2 months, requesting that because they had tore everything up, they had redone the piping and then buried everything. And when they re-asphalted on top, they didn't level it at all. So it's been causing quite a lot of wear
Okay.
and tear, one of the 2 main inflows, outflows for Kāhala. So if y'all could get a team over there to re-smooth that, please, that would be greatly appreciated.
Can you repeat the street you said, Waiʻalae Avenue? Is that
Yeah,
what you said?
it's Waiʻalae right before
Okay.
the on-ramp, and if you give me
Okay.
2
Oh, is
seconds,
that-
I can tell you exact
Okay.
route.
That's right before by the storage area?
What is it? 22nd, it's Waiʻalae and 22nd, right next to the public
Okay.
storage building.
Okay.
There's like a
Okay.
meeting over there.
Okay. And do you remember about when the break occurred and when they were resurfacing or trying to make it smooth?
Yeah, I think it was about 3 months ago, and then we
Okay, 3
requested
months,
that it
okay.
be smoothed out the following month
Okay. All
and
right.
last month as well, please.
Okay. All right. I will bring that up. And I actually did find the letter that was sent to Mr. Francis dated September 5th. So
That's it.
I guess, yeah, I do have that.
Perfect.
But yeah, if there's any other, I guess, extra questions that you have, yeah, just call our public information officer. It was on the letter, Kathleen, and she can address some of the other questions that you may have in regards to this Diamond Head water system improvements.
Okay. I can do that.
All right, thank you. Does anybody else have any other questions or concerns?
Anybody else? Any other questions, concerns? I think we are good to go then.
Okay,
Thank you so much
great.
for your time this
All
evening.
right, have a good evening. You're welcome. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Right. On to the next. It appears as though we have quorum. So filling of the vacancies. We have 2 vacancies open this evening. Let's see, we've got which ones? Ooh, sub-district 1. And then the general, and a general vacancy. So if anybody is impassioned about their neighborhood, if anybody really cares, please, please, please. Would anybody like to throw their name forward? So basically, we are an impassioned group of citizens who come together once a month to listen to the community, listen to what y'all have to say. We also have our own opinions that we like to throw in there from time to time, but basically we act as a channel from the government to the citizenry. So you guys have a place to come, and if there are some bathrooms that require gates because something bad happened there, you guys come to us and we try and get those to the interested parties. If the DOE isn't taking care of their facilities and trying to, they need to chop some trees, y'all come down here, talk to us, and we try and get it to the available people. So it's just basically listening to concerns, positive developments, and then transmitting that to those who need to be told it.
It's not like specific, like safety or roads or?
No. It's general. All problems, all issues. Subdistrict 1 is, let's see. Yeah, is that the?
Oh, gotcha, thank you.
It's like right above, like the mall and.
So it looks like Waiʻalae Ridge.
Yeah.
What is?
Halico is number 2, and then.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So it's like where Kilauea goes up.
And then there's also a general position as well, which is anybody who's in the Waiʻalae Kāhala district area, the at large.
Can I think about it?
Absolutely. Think about it, dust off your hat, throw it in the ring when you're ready. All right, perfect. Yeah. Let's- Oh. Sell that.
Last one's coming. I'll turn it.
I've got your number written down somewhere, but if you just want to throw it in. There you go. Thank you. All right, so we'll go off the vacancies. And then reports of members' attendance. Pardon? Yeah. Yeah. And then so reports of members' attendance at other meetings. Brian, would you like to discuss the Kāhala Mall meetup that you hosted the other weekend?
We all hosted it. We had the outreach event at the Kāhala Mall on the 10th. I believe that was Sunday the 10th, from about 11 o'clock in the morning to 2 p.m. We had a great opportunity to meet with the community, people that live within the Waiʻalae Kāhala area, as was Saturday. You're exactly right. Was Saturday. Time just blends together. Yeah. Well, here and there, we got to meet with the community, both Waiʻalae Kāhala community people coming up, as well as others that come to shop at Kāhala Mall from other communities, shared about the neighborhood board, what we do, how they can get involved, how they can attend the meetings, not only the Waiʻalae Kāhala, but we provide information to all the different boards, meetings that are available. And we pass out these little first aid kits. We made them available tonight here at the table, so grab one before you leave today. And it was just a great time for us to just meet with the public, and we hope to do more in the future to get people to know how this can be a great channel for the community to get involved with taking care of where we live.
You hosted a lovely meetup, so thank you so much for doing that. A lot of really positive community outreach happened. Up next, before I forget, if you don't mind. I was about to say, you don't want to see the angry text messages I get. Up next, we have, let's see, Josh Green's representative. Are you here this evening, Patty?
Aloha. Yes, I'm here.
Hi, Patty. How you doing?
I'm well. How are all of you? I hope you're all well. So I know there were some concerns that were brought to us last month, and so I actually did not hear back to whether those concerns were addressed. So please do let me know. I'm here to listen to find out if any other questions have popped up, and I'm going to paste in the chat right now the link to the governor's monthly newsletter.
Does anybody have any questions for the governor's representative?
Patty, I guess one, congratulations in order for your new position. I'm wondering if you can spend a couple of minutes just telling us about yourself.
Oh, sure. I have been a PIO with the state since I'm one of the newbies, I guess you would say, since May. But I've been living here in Hawaii for 6 years now. And I work My agency is actually DLNR, but I'm here representing the governor.
Thank you.
Perfect. Does anybody have any other additional questions? Barry?
Hi.
Hi, Barry.
Hi, nice to see you again. So we didn't hear anything further about that property we were talking about. It's in Kāhala at the corner of 22nd Avenue and Pu'upanini Avenue. The address is 475 22nd Avenue. It's about a 6.5 acre property that's under the control of the Department of Education. So I realize it's not specifically within DLNR. It has one building that is used as offices for the Department of Education, and then the rest of the 6.5 acres is basically it's storage and sort of unkempt areas, I think would be a fair characterization. And we were hoping to get some dialogue going about what could be done to sort of address the very dilapidated state of the property, and I'm putting that gently.
Yeah.
Studios rented it for a long time
It's okay.
and they vacated, so.
I understand, but she doesn't need to know all that now, because they're gone. There's a long history to the property, is what my wife was bringing up, but but now we are where we are, and and there's no one responsibility for it or having a budget for it or even being able to communicate, constructively about it. And the neighbors are all of us. There's a whole bunch of us that are sort of bordering on it, looking at it, and we're willing to engage and be helpful, but we don't have anyone to be engaged with.
I remember this from
The
last
government-
month, so let me double check on that and see what's going on with that, because I was wondering specifically about you guys and whether that had been addressed. So I will take that back and ask the governor's office what's going on.
I will tell you one thing that if there wasn't a response, I know that the Department of Education has a new person who is in charge of all. He's like assistant director for all of the DOE facilities, and his name is Randall Johnson. But this would be one small piece of the duties of someone like that. But there must be someone lower than he that would be maybe in a position to be more directly involved.
Okay. Let me see what I can find out for you, because like I said, I remember the details of this property from the last meeting, and I wondered if that had been addressed. So I'll look into that. And just to be clear, I'm not here to represent DLNR. I'm just here to represent the governor, really, and bring your concerns for any department.
I realize that.
the
I
governor's
didn't mean
office.
that as a cheap shot.
Oh, no.
No,
I
but
just wanted to
since
clarify.
you are DLNR, I know you have an understanding of land that some people don't.
Oh, yeah.
Even though that's not a DLNR property.
Right.
But
Yeah.
That's all I meant.
Okay.
Thank you, Patty.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else have questions?
Anybody else? And Patty, I drove by the property in question yesterday as well. The state of it is still very abysmal. So
Yeah, okay.
I know there's been a lot of community patience around it, but if there's something that we could do as a gesture of goodwill, that would be very helpful.
Okay, let me bring that to the governor's office and see if we can get a response for you guys on that. Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Any additionals? I think we're all good. Patty, thank you again so much for your presence this evening.
Okay, thank you. I'll still be here, so if anyone has anything comes up, I'm here to listen.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Okay.
All right. Up next, we have Department of Transportation Highway Division. Casey, are you here this evening?
Yes, I am. Let share my
Good
screen
evening,
with
Casey. How you doing?
Great. Okay, let's share my screen here. Can you folks see the screen? Folks can see the screen? Yeah. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, anyway, good evening, Chair Christian and members of the Waiʻalae Kāhala Neighborhood Board. Casey Abbott from the State DOT Highways Division. I apologize, but I'm still working on with our district office concerning the rough pavement on Waiʻalae Avenue going westbound from right after you pass Honokai Street till you pass the 21st Avenue intersection. This is the area you are talking about with Lorna from BWS. Yeah, I need to follow up with our district on following up with BWS to redo the paving due to a water main break a few months ago. Yeah, but during my field investigation this morning, I noticed this area where was the BWS water line break was improved from my last field inspection, but it still may be rough. We may need to have BWS to coat paint and resurface the whole area, but I'll have to work with our district office on that. And this pothole on the right travel lane prior to entering the 21st Avenue intersection was also patched when I went to have my field inspection this morning. I must apologize again, but our all district signage crews have still not replaced the existing speed limit 50 minimum 40 sign. I will need to report back at a future meeting. Sometime last year, I mentioned about the broken gate and the graffiti at the Kapakahi Stream Bridge. I'm happy to report that we finally repaired the broken gate, but I will need to work with our maintenance crew to paint over the graffiti. A few months ago, I reported graffiti along the shared bike and pedestrian path adjacent to the H1 on-ramp going westbound. Our maintenance crew did replace the no dumping sign, but during my field investigations this morning, I noticed a new graffiti, so I'll be working with our maintenance crew to remove the graffiti. And finally, during my field inspection this morning, I noticed a spalling on one of the median concrete pillars that supports the viaduct to a point where the rebars are exposed. I'll be working with our structural engineers and maintenance crew on addressing this problem. This concludes my report. I can take any questions at this time.
Casey, as always, thank you so much for everything that you do for our community. Does anybody have any questions for Casey? Oh, got one from Barry for you.
No,
Oh, you gotta talk into the microphone, unfortunately.
it's only state road though,
Uh,
like city road. Yeah, okay.
oh, never mind. Yeah, Casey, thank you so much for keeping up on the Board of Water Supply one for us, and for replacing those signs proactively. I appreciate that. And I think we are good this evening. Casey, thank you for your time.
You're welcome.
Perfect. All right, so that takes care of DOT. Up next, does the mayor have a representative here this evening? Mayor Blangiardi, do you have a representative here this evening?
Aloha, Chair. My name is John Nouchi. Will be permanently assigned to this neighborhood board, and I'm really apologize. I really wanted to come out and do the in-person, but I'm currently under the weather right now. So I will plan to do that for next month.
We hope you feel better.
Yeah, it was just a really long, lot going on. Thanks for that. I wanted to introduce myself first of all. My name is John Nouchi. I'm the Deputy Director of the Department of Transportation Services. I've actually served as the mayor's rep for your neighboring neighborhood board for the Kalaniʻiki Kuli'o'o Ainahaina board, number 2, right next door. And unfortunately, due to some circumstances that some responsibilities I have with kupuna care, I could not make their meetings on Wednesdays. So luckily I got reassigned right next door. So I think a lot of the neighboring issues will likely apply to this board, and I look forward to serving this board, but I do want to come and meet you guys in person. So I apologize for not being there tonight. In terms of updates for this month, I do have some quick updates from the mayor's newsletter. The mayor's newsletter can be found online at www.honolulu.gov/mayor/newsletter. Some of the highlights include city taking action to address crime along the Waiʻanae coast, nearly 30 brand new security cameras installed in Chinatown, Mayor Blangiardi hosting a healing vigil on the anniversary of the Maui wildfires. Blighted home on Pensacola Street was a hoarder house was demolished or begun the demolition process. And finally, concluding with Honolulu being named the most desirable city to live in the United States. Moving on, I do have a rather long laundry list of things, I guess, in my absence or since Derek Maestro last reported out. I do have some things from the board. We do have a resident request about the CCTVs located outside the Waiʻalae Beach Park bathrooms, whether they're still active and who monitors them. So our Parks and Recreation Department, DPR, they provided a response that while they do not monitor and maintain the cameras, should they receive a request for footage, a formal request is made to DIT and they have access to that footage. Second on my list, board members did request a representative from Parks to attend regarding the installation of a park gate and early park closing at Kāhala Community Park bathroom. I think you referred to that earlier in this meeting. DPR did provide a response that there is currently a re-roofing project taking place at Kāhala Community Park, but upon completion of the project, new gates and screens will be installed at the bathrooms. Until funding becomes available, however, the bathroom gates will not be able to get locked on a nightly basis. But DPR does request that the neighborhood board, if the board could submit a letter to DPR requesting the earlier park closure times for the community park, they would at that point, I think they would be able to consider the request. Moving on, member Himeda asked for the grass median on Kilauea Avenue headed towards Kāhala Mall to be cut, and our Department of Facility Maintenance reports that the maintenance of the grass medians along Kilauea was performed and cut on Friday, September 13th, 2024, so last Friday. Two more items on my agenda. Sorry to take up too much time. A board member asked if slowdown signs can be placed in the center of the road on Halikoa Drive, right in my department's bailiwick. So the sign requested is known as an in-street pedestrian sign, and under our manual of uniform traffic control devices, it does have specific placement guidelines, federal guidelines. Our Department of Transportation Services will evaluate the implementation of the in-street pedestrian sign if specific locations can be provided by the board, and additionally, we will conduct a speed study and notify the board if additional traffic controls are necessary. I know the up and down on Halikoa with the curves and the narrow streets are challenging, so we will go ahead and start with the speed study. And I'm glad to see Casey Abe here. He and I have partnered a lot in the neighborhood board before. Regarding homeless encampment removal in a drainage canal near Waiʻalae Nui Stream Bridge, Mauka side near the Waiʻalae Kāhala Retirement Complex. Our Department of Facility Maintenance did property enforcement on August 9th under the Li'ikoa Street Bridge. They did identify a homeless encampment under Kalanianaʻole Highway under State DOT jurisdiction, and we have notified State DOT. The enforcement also looked under the Malia Street Bridge and Waiʻalae Nui Stream, and that was scheduled for August 23rd. That included the city portion from Malia Street to Waiʻalae Avenue. Other reports under Waiʻalae Avenue, under State DOT jurisdiction, and reporting to State DOT, we made further encampments are identified under Waiʻalae Avenue. And we are also, through our Department of Community Services, forwarding these to the homeless coordinator so that we can kind of keep on top of these issues. And with that, that's all I have for you tonight. I'm sorry to take up so much time.
No, John, thank you so much for helping to address all of our concerns in the community. I did have one thing that I wanted from you. Item number 2, re-roofing project for the Kāhala Community Park. Upon completion of the project, new gates and screens will be installed at the bathrooms. We would appreciate it if you could provide a timeline,
Okay.
A specific timeline, so that way the residents of that community know that upon the completion of the project, they will be getting those new gates and screens in 2 weeks, 1 week, 2 days, hopefully. But if we could get some clarifying information on that, that would be greatly appreciated.
Understood, Chair. Thank you for that. We'll follow up with DPR for a follow-up response and understand that this seems to be a pretty bubbling up topic for this board. So
Absolutely.
pardon as I get acclimated to what are the hot buttons here.
No worries. If you got any questions, please feel free to reach out. We are always available.
Definitely appreciate that.
Awesome. Oh, I did have one more thing I wanted to bring up to you. It was brought to my attention that members of the Manoa Neighborhood Board have been repeatedly threatened with out-of-pocket litigation from an angry community member who wishes to block off parking in front of his house. And that several members of the community, as well as the board, don't feel that they can attend the meeting safely. And so I know that you, as the city representative, would be appreciated if you could shed some light on that situation, maybe look into it, and then also provide or reassure the neighborhood board in Manoa of their protections. So that way we don't have any overflow coming into our community threatening us needlessly.
You know, that any kind of threat, especially, you know, for people that are serving in a public sense, look, we cannot tolerate that. Chair, if it's okay, I'm gonna put my email from work in the chat. Can you send me an email or let me know where I can reach you? I want to find out a little bit more information so I can dig a little bit deeper. But I can say, so I am the DTS deputy. Parking on streets, it is not for a private party to defend and cone off and reserve for one's own use. You can only do that with a valid street usage permit that's actually obtained through my department on city roads and through state DOT on state highways. So, like I said, I know there's some sensitivity. I understand there's probably some sensitivity about people not wanting to show up in public meetings. And I think that just defeats the whole purpose of us having a public forum. So, I'm a little bit upset to hear about that, but can you contact me outside of this and perhaps give me a little bit more information so as not to, you know, endanger or threaten anybody else involved in this, and then I can give you a little bit more information specifically if you have a location or anything like that.
Oh, absolutely. We have lots of information, and thank you very much. We appreciate it. I'll be in touch with you and we can discuss it at length.
Okay, thank you.
Does anybody have any questions for the gentleman this evening?
John Nochi, my name is Barry Francis, and I'm a resident here. And about a general question, when there are street signs on the regular streets that are getting old and maybe they have graffiti and things like that that could warrant replacement, what is the best way to bring that to the Department of Transportation Services attention?
Just go ahead and call us. If you look up our main number you can go to honolulu.gov/transportation or /DTS, either one. My team that answers our phones, I would say I'm very proud of them, because when they pick up the phone, and even if the problem doesn't land in the Department of Transportation Services, they will connect you to the city department whose responsibility it is. And they will not just transfer you, they will call the other department, and when they have a live person, they will transfer the call after that. But in this particular case, Barry, the sign work would start with us. It's tremendously multi-department related, but when you send that issue, if you call in or email us, we verify that the signs are indeed in the proper place and are properly signed and placed. And you wouldn't believe how many times people actually fashion their own things and put them up. But at that point, when we verify that the signs are appropriate and in the right place, then we issue a work order to our Department of Facility Maintenance for sign fabrication or cleaning or any other type of installation on our roadways.
Thank you.
Are there any additional questions for the gentleman? John, thank you so much. We hope you feel better, and thanks for making time this evening.
Thank you. Look forward to meeting everyone in person.
Perfect. All right, up next, we have a representative of Tommy Waters. Does Tommy Waters have a representative today? Council member Tommy Waters. No bingo. All right, on next, Representative Bert Kobayashi. Does Bert Kobayashi have a representative here this evening? 2 for 2. Mark Hashem. Representative Mark Hashem, do you have a representative here this evening? 3 for 3. Senator Stanley Chang. I think I saw Teresa there.
Yes. Hi, everyone.
Hey, good evening, Teresa. How you doing?
Hi, doing good. Hi, Chair, Board, and members of the or people in the neighborhood. I'm just gonna put a few links in the chat first. So our September newsletter can be found on senatorchang.com. And then for anyone online, that second link is also to sign up for the housing newsletter. And if you want to sign up later, the sign up link is also available at senatorchang.com. And then going into our updates, the registration is now open for the 2024 Children and Youth Summit, and this is taking place on October 10th. Young people 24 and under can share their thoughts with the legislature on ways to improve the quality of life for youth in Hawaii. You can register for free at hawaiicys.org. Next, you can add your driver's license or state ID to your iPhone mobile wallet. Your digital ID is accepted at TSA, so it'll be easier for you to travel. And for instructions to do so, you can visit hidot.hawaii.gov. And then finally, the judiciary has mailed their 2025 juror questionnaires. If you received one, please do complete it ASAP to avoid facing a penalty. For any questions, please call 808-539-4360. That's the court's public information line. And I'm here to take back any questions.
Any questions from the board? Any questions from the general public? All right, Teresa, thank you so much for your time.
Thanks, Chair.
All right, moving on. Residents' community concerns. Do we have anybody here with a concern that they'd like to discuss? Please raise a hand. One, perfect. If you'd be happy to take the microphone up over there.
Hi, my name's Estrida Pazentiner. I'm a 50-year resident of Kāhala, was born and raised there. A nerve was struck talking about the Kāhala Beach Park, but I wanted to wait because first of all, I look forward to meeting Nouchi in the next month's meeting. But I'm here to, sorry, I'm a little overwhelmed. For the last few years, I've definitely paid attention and observed shenanigans on the intersection of Aloha gas station with the homeless panhandling and some crime and the increase of crime. I'm here to speak out because it's come to a point where I was endangered and I feel like our safety is definitely a huge concern. I've been going to Aloha gas station since it was Arco. I think I was skateboarding there when I was 8. And I definitely I've actually taken my car there and gassed up literally, until recently. I don't know if it's like claiming my gas station. I brought all the kids I nannied through the years there. I bring all my clients' cars there. Needless to say, I feel safe, and it's a booming gas station, as everyone can tell. And I've noticed not only some dangerous things, but there's an issue where it was robbed. And I think that was 2 Octobers ago via machete. I'm not sure if everybody knows. That time they did have a security guard come in, and I think they started closing it at night at a certain point. It was about 7 p.m. in the last year, and literally got in my car, and a guy with a machete, all masked up. It wasn't Saturday, 2 p.m. Filipino gardener. It was shady. And I locked my door and I went, what's going on here? Observant. I went there about a month and a half ago, actually 2 months or 3 months ago. I have no concept of time either. And it was 6 in the morning, right before they opened, because I wasn't able to find a car vacuum at any gas stations from Kalihi to Kāhala, and I had to return my parents' car, and I wanted to vacuum it out. So in 10 minutes, I was approached by 3 people offering to sell me drugs. I had my window open just a crack. This woman came up to me and asked me for money, and I said no, or a cigarette or something, and she walked over, and there was this huge, it was the most insane experience. As you know, Saturday morning joggers are running by, and it was bright out, it was sunny, and I mean, I almost wanted popcorn to watch this insane zombie apocalypse. Every car that drove up to gas up, one of the 5 homeless people that looked like they're zombies walked up to each person. Number one, never do that to me. As a woman in the gas station, please don't approach a woman, especially at night. And it's just out of control, and I don't know how. It's just been, to me, I feel it's been ignored. So I got involved, and I went to my first mayor's meeting in Manoa, and I spoke, and it was great. It was involving more of a situation over by where I do live on Kapahulu. And anyway, I intended to go to the Hawaii Kai meeting, and I reached out to Aloha Gas Station's corporate office. I'd called them and not been, no response. I got no response. So I wrote an email, and I guess maybe it was a little threatening, saying, I'm going to bring this up. I don't feel safe. I think this needs to be addressed. My community is a concern because this is where my family is, all my clients, and my friends. And I'm a very adamant, I feel my community and my neighbors. It's important to me. And I did get a response back from a man named Mark Wong. Unfortunately, things have been a little crazy, and I did not get a chance to reply back to him, but he wanted to address my concerns and let me know what they're doing for the community as means of safety, which, by the way, I've gone and I've spoken to all the cashiers for the last 3 years and gotten the scoop on these homeless people that it's a ring. It's literally a ring. And regarding the restrooms at Kāhala Beach Park, I think we should have those CC cameras on, because the latest news is that all the homeless that were kicked out of Diamond Head are living at Kāhala Beach Park now. I haven't been there in probably the last 9 months. It's time to go do it'll be a very sad experience. I'll be very disappointed, as I was raised there, little kid times, with Jack Lord walking by and talking to us. And she's doing tricks in the bathroom at Kāhala Beach Park. So maybe we should address those CC cameras and have more. I take kids there, and the last thing I need is to walk in and I'm just assuming there, and I don't have proof, but I did want to mention that. And on the 15th of last month, I left my parents' house on Waiʻalae Nui Ridge, and the last thing my mom said was, get home safely. And I did the eye roll that I've been doing for 40 years. And I went to put oil in my car, and it was something I felt safe doing because it was 8:45. I know the cashier a little bit, and I know that they have a security guard. I didn't know I'd have to even worry about these things. And I went, and there was a large woman. I'm a big girl. She's a really big girl. And there was a problem, and I could tell it was a little shady. So I walked around, I bought my oil, and they kicked her out of the store. Sorry, let me sum this up. I go out, I open my hood, 40 motorcycles just take off, which is quite a scene, you know, the noise, and it's kind of a thrill to watch in some way. And I'm holding the trunk or my lift gate open as I'm trying to fumble for this funnel. And I'm literally 5 minutes from home. I'm so excited after a 12-hour day. And she comes up and she asks me if I need help. And I already know she's not dealing with a full deck. She asked twice, then she turns civil. And she punches me closed fist in the face. And it was on. I fought for my life. And when I tell you I fought for my life, I'm 6 foot. I'm not going to tell you how much I weigh. I was raised with 3 older brothers, and I boxed and did roller derby. I didn't have a chance. I fought for my life for 45 seconds. And this woman, I fought all her personalities. It's absolutely insane that these people, I mean that not by saying homeless, I'm talking about she should be in a state institution. Thank God, HPD, thank you so much for the Kāhala substation. They were there fast. The security guard from inside was standing next to us. And I screamed, is someone gonna call 911? And finally they fly up. Nobody stopped it. Nobody even tried to help me. And anyway, she was arrested. I was ambulanced out for trauma to Queens, and I didn't make it home. Thank God I'm sitting here today. I just got out of the hospital. I got an infection that almost took. And this is just insanity. So I want to address this because now it's come to a point where I'm not safe in Kāhala. I felt safer in Kalihi than I did that night. And it wasn't midnight and it shouldn't even matter. And she, of course, I had to become PI. And she's been arrested 28 times in 2 years. That's all they can show you on the Ikokua on the website. She was arrested. The police, they were great. And they said, first of all, it's the talk of the substation at the time I heard, and that I could fight. I put in some good shots, I guess. That's not what I want to be proud of. I want to make sure that I feel safe getting gas or getting oil at Kāhala or walking to my car or anything. God forbid it's a kapuna or a smaller woman or a child. She almost killed an 85-year-old man. This is all online in Florida. She's one of the many that was sent here with a one-way ticket. And Mayor Blangiardi, I addressed this in Manoa, and we're going to continue this discussion because it's out of control. She was released 3 days later on, if you want to take a guess on the bail, you're not even going to come close, $10. She has 4 cases total, mine included. She had court in 2 days on the 3rd, and she was released, and I will be taking that up too, because something has to change there, that my plate lunch costs more than this person's release. So I will be posting about this. I figured if anything, I have a voice and it's a loud one. I probably don't even need the mic, but I'm gonna take this and at least let my members, my friends and family get together and us, take self-defense, whatever we have to do. And maybe that Mark Wong is gonna get another phone call from me. It's all on video. HPD has everything. And that's what I came here to address. And I would like to get more involved, and Kāhala means a lot to me. So this is actually, maybe I'd like something good to come out of something that was really terrible. And I have over $100,000 hospital bill. And I feel like maybe we should just send them back. Maybe we should just pay for a ticket to send them back, or at least a 3 strikes deal. This is out of control. 28 arrests. I have 0, by the way. 0 arrests, and I intend to keep it that way. But I did have to protect myself. And like I said, there's more, healing to do. And thank you for letting me speak and approach this as a neighbor for the community. Thank you.
Thank you for coming down. Thank you for sharing your story. Very sorrowful that happened to you, and that is horrific. And you're right, that should not be happening in our community, especially in Kāhala, of all places. And I'm so sorry that happened to you. I've oftentimes seen exactly what you're talking about. As a proud member of the motorcycle community, we're not all bad actors. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
One of them has helped me.
Yeah.
Stopped.
Yeah, but
Did find another day drawn on Juliana, goes and cuts shrubbery and all the, this is on his own time. So that these guys don't go back and, that's where they find shade and home. It's, and these are also the guys in the storm drains and the criminals with chronics. I'm talking about homeless that are really needing help. So that's, fear.
absolutely.
But I think the panhandling needs to become addressed. I don't think this is right.
And it's a danger, that woman, or it's a ring, it's 4 of them. You all see it. I mean, it's day and night.
Well, I think the gentleman who was here last meeting, who brought up the community Kāhala Park concerns, Robert Parnell, had brought up, I believe, the same ring of people that you had discussed, and had tried to bring it to HPD's attention, and they had said that in order to do something about it, or they need to be witnessed, they need to be reported. It's this whole thing. I own and operate 3 businesses out of the Kāhala area. I live in the Kāhala area. We deal with this stuff all the time, and I agree with your consensus. It is only getting worse. And you know, we have Representative John Nucci from for the mayor's office. You know, absolutely, John, and you know, with whatever the support the mayor can provide, especially in our community, we would really, really appreciate it because it is getting out of hand. And then also Patty, you know, as the governor's representative too, I believe she's absolutely correct. There needs to be a send back policy, and we need to stop taking it as a state and just taking on other states' homeless folk. We don't have enough resources for our own as it is. We don't have resources for them as well. So anything we can do to create a system, start, you know, showing that we care, show the community representatives that we care, the people in the community, anything we can do to even just make a dent in it would be greatly appreciated. HPD, you guys have always done a really good job at responding 2 minutes or less. We're very fortunate in that regard.
Too, as I'm learning since the mayor's meeting, and then just want to mention this France Pass thing was addressed at the Manoa meeting. Now, where are we at with that? Because the mayor, as it was on the logo video, he was very responsive, and I was approached afterwards by HPD and actually several people, and the mayor and the 2 in Ross. And anyway, so I am curious, like, so what is going to be coming of that? Because grants pass is an issue that I'm new to both of it, or the Supreme Court. Oh, there's all kinds of things, you know, about the shopping carts, and anyway, I feel like they have more rights than we do. And in regards to sending them back, when I mentioned the $100,000 hospital bill, guess who's going to pay that? It's taxpayers who are going to end up paying that. So this, I mean, how does that work out? Why is that okay? Okay, sorry, I'm very passionate about that.
Yep. You experienced something very traumatic, and the fact that you're here tonight.
That's the case, because I don't think our state should be, and I'm born and raised here, and I'm very grateful for that. But I mean, the type of people that are coming in, it's a very arrogant, transient. They certainly don't care. They're very, I'm sorry, once I had 2 assaults in a month. It's crazy. I can't make this up. They're dangerous and they're mentally ill, and they're high on drugs, which made it even more fun. So, yeah, I'm so sorry, but thank you.
Don't apologize.
You know,
We appreciate you showing up tonight. We appreciate you sharing your story. That takes bravery, and we thank you for real.
Yeah.
Of course. So if you have any ideas and ways that we can help, you know, obviously I'll talk to the mayoral and governor representative.
So I appreciate every meeting. I've been 3 now, and even last night I was approached, and people have been great. So I do have great interest in, as we were asking for, you know, I want to get more involved. Because there are a lot of people that aren't quiet, neighbors that aren't, you know, I'm if I can stand for others, you know, like you are. Thank you for having this forum, and yeah, I'll think of more things.
Yeah. Well, so for private businesses, what I've learned personally is that if you create a notice of trespass, they show up for the first time, they cause an issue, you call the cops, and then as the cops are there, you provide to them this notice of trespass. The cops will force them to sign, and the cops will take note of their name. The next time they show up, you can have them arrested for trespassing. And that starts adding up really, really quickly. And it's a couple weeks here, a couple weeks there, but it removes the problem for a short period of time. And if you remain vigilant on it, and I hate saying like we have to look after ourselves and we have to do this ourselves, but
neighborhood where I'm out there, it's going on, and so it's happened.
We used to have over 20 trespasses a day. Now we have 0. So for private businesses, the gas stations, Kāhala Mall, Foodland, like the main places where they hang around, they created those trespass notices and then just got with the program and just made it a regular thing. We as a community could combat this pretty quickly, utilizing private business as the forefront of this mechanism. So maybe we should go and talk to the private businesses, and maybe we can start something that allows businesses to just report this, get it done, and so we can start moving past this. We've got bigger things to worry about. So, yeah.
And like, a good life to live.
Yes, exactly.
Just a general question. Do we know what advocacy groups are available that work on this? And
Against us.
ACO.
Yeah. By the way, they represented the homeless guys. So a while ago, the Korean sundry store next to Harvest Bakery had to close because the Pawnee high school kids paid the homeless guys to buy them alcohol and cigarettes. And of course, some lawyers, ACLU back, or motivated lawyers, had stood up for the homeless guys, what they wanted to do, and they got off clean, and the Korean center store lost their entire business, small business. And that was 7 years ago, roughly. So I know who's probably giving me a hard time.
yeah, I was looking for the good guys. Because if we know what advocacy groups are working on this, and, maybe there's somebody in the House or a legislature that's working on it, the neighborhood boards can work with them, trying to, educate the public, educate the boards.
Or even providing the businesses just the mechanisms that they need to get the step done.
I mean, just a little bit of information that you just provided, Christian, is helpful for people. Well, we don't know that.
Oh, no, you have to call the cops 20 times a day to get that information. Yeah, please stick around after. I would love to talk to you. I'd love to work on a solution with you if at all possible. All right, moving on, unfortunately. Do we have any other community concerns? Anybody who'd like to bring up any issues in the community than those who've already been brought up? All right. On to the next, board business. Let's see, we need approval of the August meeting's notes. Sylvia, did you have any corrections provided? Oh, perfect. All right, and can I get approval on the notes? Would anybody like to? That's correct. Perfect. I have the motion. Can I get second? Perfect. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All in opposition, say nay. Perfect. Yeah, he said with corrections. Oh, yeah. All right, there we go. All right, so we have approval for the minutes. Alternative venues for the neighborhood board meetings. We've been brought up this pretty much every time. I'm a big fan of the KCC Culinary School when we finish up.
KCC for what's elementary school, as we found out, is that's it. Yeah, sorry, we don't have a tight budget.
I believe we charged.
We're looking, is it possible coming up? I got a grant suggestion, we'll spend our. Let's say.
Okay.
Is it possible to get MLP? We can have it in that district, but there are neighbors. Neighboring. No, it's not, but it's actually.
It's like. Yeah, we're always looking for.
Don't you like here?
It's a little hot here, a little small. We'd like to encourage more people to be able to show up
I
without
see.
packing y'all in like sardines.
Okay.
I would have to.
Yeah. Private is difficult because we have to have agreements, things have to be locked down, there's liability to be waived, insurance to be held.
The police came up there for our neighborhood watch meeting and which ended up being basically telling us that we're gonna do vigilantes. But I was just curious because I would mention that, but insurance, I thought that was pretty long.
Yeah.
For starters,
And religious.
oh yeah. They don't pick up the tree time.
Oh, the church, yeah, they don't.
That works.
Yeah, that.
Let's see it with the
That story.
So we tried to, Olive Park and, currently, yeah, they're doing renovations onto the building, so it has to be in the end of the year. So when they finish, renovations. Is it, no, I'm just saying we could do the neighboring. At least it's like 12 by some guys. If it's possible, oh, that. Try that. I don't want to go, of course.
No.
So you want to look at that? No. We could try and see if we can have you guys in that or. Or the. How big of most of the park also.
River, Port River.
Little. Well, what if you like, in the district? No, it's not. What it is. Well, no, I didn't know we're over here from this. For example, I go to the park. I go to the stadium, so, yeah. Here for now. Yeah, here for now, yeah. But Wilson Elementary School is down on the table. KCC up. KCC up. You can make that, it's down there. That's the one. That's outside our but.
All right, well, why don't we table this discussion until we get some more clarifying information? All right, so move on to that. And up next, we have a resolution involving the Kāhala Community Park. Be it so resolved that Kāhala requests the installation of metal gates at the bathrooms of Kāhala Community Park to enhance public safety, security, especially during non-operating hours. Be it further resolved that the board requests upgraded trash receptacles at the park that they are designated to prevent litter from blowing out and contributing to unsanitary conditions in the surrounding area, improving cleanliness and maintaining the beauty of the park. Be it finally resolved that the Waiʻalae Kāhala Neighborhood Board requests that all copies of this resolution be distributed to the Parks, Department of Parks and Recreation, Senator Stanley Chang, Representative Burke Kobayashi, City Council Member Tommy Waters, and other appropriate officials.
All the things that going to the bathroom and all things not okay because it was hard to police for that. We recommend that the park on certain hours so that it's closed, then involve the neighbors, the residents, especially all the police, but people are there if the door, if the park is already closed. Before the gates are, that would come with the gates. Are you saying like Hawaii High did, or was trying to? Or studying the
So what we can do is we can make an amendment to this resolution where we also include the earlier closing hours of the park. And I would be interested to hear from all members of the community as to what we think a appropriate time for the park to close is. In regards to the metal grates, I think or the metal gates, the community concern, Sylvia, has been that people are just going in and breaking the law no matter what the signs say. So that way there is a physical barrier preventing them from having a secluded area to engage in illicit activities. So this is, I think, a good 1-2 punch. And then also several of the members that I spoke to, concern that came up over and over and over again was that the trash cans there are uncovered and it is a widely used community park, which is awesome. We love people coming into the community. We love people coming in and using our facilities and our parks. But what is unfortunate for them, though, is that because the trash cans are uncovered, they're like a basic 30, 40-gallon trash can. As baseball games are held, football games are held, all of that, trash is shoved into the trash cans. And when the trash cans fill up, the wind just catches and blows all this trash directly into their house, since it is a wind corridor. So that was another concern that repeatedly brought up. And I thought while people are in there, let's just go ahead and take care of all these community concerns, just get it done in one go. Does anybody see? Would anybody like to, do we need to vote to?
All discussion. We're going to continue discussion, right?
Yeah. Discussion?
Yeah. I mean, I guess my understanding is that the gate's already going to be installed. So I think it's like a unnecessary resolution at this point, but I'd like to amend it to add the closure hours.
Okay.
Right. So then we're I guess, and I guess state that the gates would be there.
Absolutely. Okay.
But motioning for the time of what, the time of what the park should close would, I guess, align with the ability for the park department to close the gates.
Okay.
I beg your pardon.
Why don't we try and vote on what we have now, and then that way we can make the amendment into a separate resolution, vote on that resolution later. And it does not include that, unfortunately. And they said that they're going to, but a lot of people say a lot of things, so I'll just hit them with a double one too.
Sure.
Christian, I move that we accept this resolution as is.
Thank you very much. Do I have a second? Anybody like to second the resolution? Thank you. All right. All in favor, say aye. All in opposition, say nay. All right, the ayes have it. So we will get this sent off. Perfect. And then we will next time add a resolution. Yeah, we'll bring a resolution to change the hours for the park as well.
Are the hours for the park right now?
It's the typical, I think it's like 10 to 8 or something, 10 to 6 or something. The typical city ones. I'd also like to motion that we that you write a letter for the earlier closure as well.
Absolutely.
As chair, you can represent. I guess I'd motion to do that. So if anybody wants to second that, so he can write a. He's going to write a. I'm motioning to have our chair write a letter for earlier closure, and the gate, as well as doing the resolution.
Got it.
So I motion.
Seconded. All in favor? Aye.
I had a question. Didn't I hear earlier that they weren't going to lock the gates, though?
Yeah, the concern.
No, so it could come at some time? I visited the house that's complaining about the bathroom stuff. And in addition to that, he's got a hoarder that lives next to him. Talk about a mess. The poor guy, if we can help him in any way. Thank you.
Wow, yeah, as long as we're voting. Let's see. Do we have any new business we need to discuss? Oh, perfect. On to unfinished business. Let's see, the puck has already been rust, hasn't it? Yes. I was going to say that meeting hasn't occurred yet too, so I don't think there's any update on that. We'll table it for next time. Yep.
We waiting for that one?
I think there's a,
There's nothing.
yeah.
There's might be things we do, but we- Long time ago, yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, this is also, I made this agenda. So this is my first agenda I'm pumping out. So if there are any issues, please bring it up to my attention so I can do better next time. Let's see, complete streets. Discuss that in private, but
I'm not prepared. What I wanted to share with the board is that the Complete Streets project, as it is slated for 2025 for the Kāhala area of Kilauea Avenue, the design that's being proposed I think there's alternatives available than what they're wanting to do by eliminating the bottom line is they're going to eliminate a lane of traffic on both sides, going Mauka and Makai, however you want to look at it. And I believe that there are alternatives. I shared a presentation as a constituent of the community directly with the organizations that there should be other alternatives besides eliminating a lane and just installing a full-fledged protected bike lane. I think we can have a happy medium by continuing to have 2 lanes of traffic on both sides, improving the pedestrian safety, which I see is not addressed as much as I think it should be in their proposal for the walking and running public. I measured the widths of Kilauea Avenue on both sides, and based on the established measurements, requirements for lanes and parking, and to have a bike share, it does meet that space to allow that to be built. I believe that there can be some enhancements with the sidewalks for traffic, pedestrian traffic to move safely. There are times that I've been running down Kilauea Avenue as a jogger, and joggers will run onto the street to allow other people to walk past along the sidewalk. I think it can be widened a little bit more. And I believe speed may be a point that they're bringing up. I think that can be looked at a little bit differently with improvements at intersections and some other enhancements that can be done relative to speed. So anyway, I wanted to just share that in brief. I will probably provide a resolution form for the board to take a look at, to where I can put my thoughts on paper, and you folks can take a look and see where I'm coming from in the details to what I'm saying, that there are alternatives to what is being proposed right now.
Might also want to ask Kāhala Elementary to, in terms of policy on Kilauea, because sidewalk has signs that it's a passenger loading zone on their side of the street. So if there's only one lane, then that would not be easy for them to have a passenger loading zone if there's only one lane.
The actual plan, if you're looking at it.
They requesting one.
But not the whole
Right. Uh, I'll put into details because there are other fine-tuned things that I saw on their design with the bus stops that's not being addressed, at least in the design, in what they're showing in their pictorials. Taking that into consideration, the 9 bus stops that are along the way, I forgot how many there are exactly, and how that gets, how the buses will pull on the side and allow traffic and that sort of thing. Relative to everything that's just been said, I want to put it on paper in a resolution form, identifying those things that I believe that can be relooked at instead of an all or none relative to eliminating an entire lane of both sides. That's all.
Yeah, one of my big concerns, well, not yet, her. Why to do the ban that instead of-
Perfect. Thank you all.
Mr. Chairman, may I suggest that we invite that lovely lady from Complete Streets?
Oh, yes.
No, well, do it again and promise her she's not going to get lynched this time. Because I think Diamond Head Road needs a lot more help at the lookouts than Kilauea Avenue ever did or will. Anyway, thank you.
Yeah, Peter, we talked about that Diamond Head Road. We saw Diamond Head Road, I think Malia Street area as well. I think the idea with Kilauea Avenue, it's identified as the street that they are going to be working on for improvements and enhancements. And because of that, it's included in the complete streets and everything else is secondary, so to speak.
All right, yeah, so I'll reach out to her, try and get her to show up. Make sure that we mention we come in peace and mean no harm. So, all right, face to face. I agree. All right, up next, announcements. Our next neighborhood board meeting will be occurring Thursday, October 17th. Thursday, October 17th, we'll be meeting right back here, Kāhala. Anyone's got anything else to discuss? I believe we're at an end for the evening. Could I get a motion to dismiss? Seconded? All in favor? We are out. Thank you all so much for attending this evening.